let's talk about that Wembley final. I'm assuming, I haven't checked this before I ask you, but you were down for the 98-99 finals.
I was on the semi in 2000.
So you were there. I was speaking to friends and family over the weekend, and they were my uncles went down to both the 98-99 finals, and they kind of said there was a little bit of a different feeling. Man United, for example, they were expected to win. This is the treble side. Arsenal just also won the Premier League a few weeks before, so they were expected to win. Whereas I think Newcastle going to this, I think it's pretty much level peg. And I know their form's dropped off slightly. Man United are picking up one, but I mean they drew with Leeds, didn't they, the other day? So they're not exactly blowing sides out of the water. I know they beat Leeds comfortably after that 2-2 draw, but they're not running teams over. It's level pegging going in, and there's just a different feeling, I think, across the fan base, across the city, where, as I mentioned right at the start of the show, everyone's pulling in the same direction, and that's going to count for a lot going into that game as well.
Yeah, I think you're right. I mean, just going back to 98, Arsenal were comfortably the best team in England. 99, Man United were not comfortably, but the best team in Europe ultimately. And funnily enough, I was looking through the team sheets the other day, and they're two very, very good teams they played against. And even when Roy Keane limped off after 8 or 9 minutes or whatever it was, you never really thought that damaged them that much. And I think both games was goal either side of half time, wasn't it? Sorry, goal in each half. And yeah, Newcastle were never really getting back into either game. And I think you're right. I think it is different this time. I think up until a month ago, you would have said Newcastle would go in as favourites. Now, I think it's, as you say, more even, possibly even tipped a little slightly towards Manchester United, given their run of form. But it's there to be won. It really is there to be won. And if Newcastle, even though they're playing badly at the moment, sorry, not playing bad, they're not playing as well as they were, they're still not conceding many goals. And if you can go to Wembley and keep a clean sheet, anything can happen at the other end.
And do you think the fact that, if you go around the city centre, I think people are confident. We go out and do vox pops and what have you. I think people are confident. They're going down there. We can win this. We can win this. Whereas in 1999, the confidence wasn't really there going into the games. And just that change in feeling is massive, because, if we're feeling it here as journalists, and admittedly as a fan myself, then the players, the manager, they're certainly feeling it when they get waved off, whether it's the coach to the airport and what have you, when they get off the coach at Wembley, they will feel that buzz and confidence. And I know it's down to the players when they cross that white line, but going down into that weekend, knowing the fans, are more than hopeful, that can only be a good thing.
Yeah. No, I agree. I mean, if you think back to 98, it was a team that was in need of rebuilding. And 99, there'd been some rebuilding done, but it was in need of more, under Dalglish and then Hullett. Whereas this team is still a work in progress, but I think there's a far greater. It's further down the line, in my opinion. You had Alan Shearer, you had Rob Lee, you had Shea Given, but around them, it perhaps wasn't. There wasn't the depth of quality in the team that I think there is now, and I think it's close. Newcastle's overall level of quality, is closer to that of Man United now than it was in 99.